everyone. Welcome to The Pitch with Fox, B-Doms, and Mitch. I'm your host, John Fox, alongside here with B-Doms and Mitch Sabatelli. Here are this week's top stories. Big Ben is back from the suspension. Now, does this make the Steelers the team to beat?
Well, I think it does, actually. You know, Charlie Batchelor's their backup. And now Big Ben coming back with that chemistry that he already has. I think losing Holmes is going to hurt. But Hines Ward, Mike Wallace is a deep threat. Rashard Mendenhall's in the backfield. And the greatest defense, I think, in the league. What about you think?
It's really hard to argue that. I mean, Big Ben has been a top 5 quarterback for his whole career, pretty much. And, I mean, they are 3-1 right now, so they're still definitely in it. And they're obviously going to make the playoffs. The team to beat is going to be tough, though.
Well, if you think about it, they did have their backup, you know what I'm saying, as their quarterback.
But that doesn't mean he's not good.
That's true.
I mean, Matt Castle was never supposed to play it down in his career, and now he's a starter. So,
I love the fans in the Steelers. The Steelers have one of the hardest places to play. Like I said, Mike Wallace is a deep threat. You've seen Big Ben in the playoffs last year using Mike Wallace really to his advantage. And this year with Batch, it doesn't have the strongest arm, not the most accurate arm. He's really finding Mike Wallace already too. So I like the Steelers.
I still have to keep Baltimore in that picture.
Yeah, definitely. Baltimore went to their place and beat them, but that was without Big Ben.
But they were undefeated. I mean, that proves that they are still a good team.
You know, Baltimore already beat the Jets, they beat Denver, and now the Steelers.
Yeah, but they beat the Jets, they beat Denver, and they beat the Steelers. No, they beat the Jets and the Steelers.
At their place.
Yeah, on the road. They beat Denver at home, but they've already played 3 games on the road. They're playing the 4th game on the road against the Patriots.
They're also doing good regardless whether or not Joey Flacco does good or not.
I mean, Ray Rice...
Joe Flacco's not had a good game. No, not a good season so far.
But, yeah. I mean, they proved they don't need him. Their defense is, I would still say, might be better than the Steelers. It's close. It's really hard to compare, but their defense is amazing. And Ray Rice, that's a really good running back there.
Willis McGahee, LaRon McClain.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, their wide receiver core is amazing. So I think Joe Flacco can pull out of it, too.
They're both great teams.
If Joe Flacco comes together and becomes a great quarterback...
Yeah, gets in a groove with Anquan Bolden, with that defense...
Then I think they're the team to beat. I can't argue seeing both of those.
We're going to talk about this later, but Patriots-Ravens, I'm thinking whoever wins that game is atop the power rankings this next week.
Yeah. I can't argue with that.
Alright, next up.
Alright, next story. Big Ben could possibly sit out Sunday's game. If not that, maybe later on down the season.
Brett
Favre.
Oh, my bad. But anyways, he could sit out Sunday's game or possibly later on with tendinitis. Do you think this is a problem for his 289 game start streak?
Well, it's obviously a problem if he doesn't make it. That's going to blow his streak. But, you know, Favre said in the past, in the last 2 years, that he's not going to let that streak bug him, you know what I'm saying? He said it again this week, you know. I mean, you can say what you want about Brett Favre, about how he's an interception guy, he's not really for the team, and he's always on the media, just complaining and everything. But, I mean, that streak is one hell of a streak, you know, 289 games it was. I mean, that's a terrific player, and how old he is, all that wear and tear on him, that's huge.
All streaks have to come to an end sometime. I mean, look at Cal Ripken. I mean, he ended the streak.
Well, not necessarily. Brett Favre is, I mean, if he goes for this year, he has a chance to keep going.
But I mean, how much does that streak really matter at this point?
True.
I mean, I think Peyton Manning's next in line with like 120.
Yeah, he's going to have the record for a while.
I mean, it really doesn't matter.
He has tons of records. He doesn't really need that one.
I don't think it hurts the Vikings all that much if he's not playing.
Oh, true.
I mean,
they got a good backup.
Tavares Jackson was supposed to be the starter until Brett Favre came in. So, I mean, and he was a starter at one point.
I like Tavares Jackson.
I mean, he's a great player. He's kind of like I wouldn't say like...
Kind of Michael Vick.
I was thinking that. He's like a mini Michael Vick. Like, he has the speed if he needs it.
Yeah.
But he's also an accurate passer.
He's a pretty good accurate passer.
I mean, he's not going to bomb it downfield 500 times.
When he was a starter, he didn't have Randy Moss, Sidney Rice, Percy Harvin, and injuries around him. Now, I mean, his best weapon was Chester Taylor, who now sucks in the Bears. So, I mean, yeah, Tavares Jackson, if Brett Favre does have to go down, I think for a couple games or 1 or 2 games, I think the Vikings should be okay.
I think they
But, I mean, they are 1-3. So.
But I think they could win 2 games with Tavares Jackson just as much as Brett Favre. I mean, Brett Favre's not playing very well, and I don't think it would really matter that much.
We'll see.
All right, last top story. Deion Branch is back to the Patriots. The Patriots give up a 4th-round pick. What are you guys' thoughts on this?
Well, so it's basically trading Lawrence Maroney for Deion Branch. I love that deal. You know, I think it gives Tom Brady another weapon. Just maybe lessens the toll. You know, losing Randy Moss, that's a huge problem. Tom Brady might have had some problem with that. I think getting Deion Branch back, one of his all-time favorite targets, is going to help him. But I mean, Deion Branch, if you're thinking that he has any chance of replacing Randy Moss, I mean, in his prime in 2005, he had 78 catches for 998 yards. He's not ever going to be that 1,500-yard receiver that like Randy Moss was. But I mean, I still don't think he's going to be the number one guy.
But think about this: do the Patriots need that?
That's true. I think if you're looking for a number one guy, it's going to be Brandon Tate. I think Brandon Tate's that guy. They still got Wes Welker, but Deion Branch is a solid and number 2 option that Tom Brady could look for. He already knows the playbook.
But think about this too: when Deion Branch was there, they didn't have a Wes Welker. So,
yes, but he was also 5 years younger, and he was better now.
I know, but they didn't have Wes Welker. Wes Welker's become the key of that team.
Yeah.
I mean, it's because of him that we could trade Randy Moss in the first place. Plus, we have Julian Edelman, who's like Wes Welker pretty much. And then, like you said, Tate.
Aaron Hernandez,
yeah. And, I mean, he has that chemistry with Brady.
I think really Deion Branch, he's not going to be that guy. Like he's not going to be a Pro Bowl type player like he was.
He's going to get stuff done though. So.
Yeah, you know he knows the playbook. He's just going to be a reliable option if he can't find a Tate, Welker, or Hernandez. I think he's going to be there for him most of the time.
I can see the Patriots now being kind of like Denver, where they don't have that one go-to guy anymore.
Sure.
They're just going to spread the ball out to everyone. And that means that you can't...
Denver doesn't have much of a running game, and it's working out for them.
But I mean, you can't double-team Wes Welker if everyone else is getting the passes.
And plus, we do have Tom Brady over Kyle Orton.
So, I mean, if you're not double-teaming anybody, that means there's always going to be single coverage somewhere.
Yep.
And Tom Brady can pick that single
That line's pretty good. If Logan Mankins comes back, you know, he has to report to the team. Maybe when he reports to the team this week, they can maybe... I don't think it's going to happen, but if they can get a deal for him, that would be great. And, I mean, with more line out, he should be able to find somebody open all day.
I think what the Patriots need to do is they need to get a running back. I mean,
like I said in the last show, I mean,
yeah.
You got to look for
it's
in their heyday with Deion Branch, Gibbons. They always had a good running game, good defense. They don't
need to get like an Adrian Peterson type player.
Oh no,
but they need someone like a Marshawn Lynch.
If they could look for a Marion Barber on the, if they could look for I mean, Marshawn Lynch goes to Seattle for a 4th-round pick, and they trade Maroney for a 4th-round pick. Why didn't they just trade the 4th-round pick for? I mean, probably Buffalo didn't want to trade him to us, but why wouldn't we just give him a 3rd-round pick for Marshawn Lynch?
Or maybe we could work out a deal with Seattle for Marshawn Lynch now.
Well, I don't know if that.
I don't know if they would do it, but they're not going to make the playoffs. I mean,
True.
They're not a playoff team. So why wouldn't they get something in return? Maybe give them our lower 3rd-round pick.
That could work out.
But
I mean, maybe you could look out for Marion Barber, who played with Maroney in I think it was Maryland or something. I don't know. But yeah, if you can get Marion Barber, he looks pretty solid. I mean, he's splitting time with Felix Jones.
But I mean, he might even be more than what we need. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
we just need a reliable guy. He doesn't have to be the greatest, but pick up like 3.5 yards per game.
Would you take a gamble on Larry Johnson who's still out there?
I mean, I would sign him. I wouldn't give up.
Yeah, I mean, low risk, high reward.
Yeah. I mean, if we had to trade like a 3rd-round pick, I'd say no.
Oh, well, he's a free agent.
No, I'm just saying, like, I wouldn't trade for him.
Oh,
since he's a free agent, there's really no reason not to try.
Yeah, bring him in, work him out.
I mean, what do the Patriots always do? They always get players at the end of their careers.
Yeah, true.
And they're pretty solid. I mean, Corey Dillon was solid for us.
You saw him pick up Lamont Jordan a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
He did pretty solid. Just take a flyer on Larry Johnson, see how he works out.
Yeah. All right, moving on to Major League Baseball. Before we discuss anything, guys, who has the best ace of the 4 teams left?
The Phillies.
Phillies?
I'd say the Phillies. I have to go Roy Halladay. Everybody is saying Cliff Lee, but I mean, I still got you can't deny Roy Halladay.
I know that's been all the talk. Cliff Lee on the news.
I'm gonna have to disagree with you. I'm gonna say in terms of stuff, it's definitely Tim Lincecum. But if I want somebody to win a game, if I want somebody to win a game, I'm going Cliff Lee. He looks like he just dominated the Rays again. He looks like he could be when his career is done. He could be one of the best playoff pitchers of all time. Out of those 4, I definitely say CeCe's the worst. I mean, in terms of stuff and
I gotta
reliability.
I got to comment on that. in all honesty, I don't even think CeCe's the best pitcher on the Yankees. I'd go Andy Pettitte.
Andy Pettitte, yeah.
I mean,
playoff wise.
Andy Pettitte's been there so long.
But you got to start CeCe Sabathia with all the cash he's making.
No, I mean, I know that, but I think Andy Pettitte's the key to the series.
Oh yeah,
to be honest.
X Factor maybe.
Yeah.
But I mean, I guess the question is, Roy Halladay's probably had the best year. But if I'm going for stuff, I'm looking at Tim Lincecum with that nasty slider, 97-mile-an-hour.
The thing about Lincecum too is the way he throws it.
Yep.
It throws the batters
He
completely off.
hides the ball behind his
And
back.
then, you know, Matt Cain and
Sanchez,
Sanchez
yep.
following him up.
Madison
They,
Bumgarner.
you know, they're going to want to take pitches, and you really can't. I mean, that Giants pitching is going to destroy you if you start to.
I'd
take
love
the
to
first
see,
round.
like I've said in the past, and I think it's going to happen, a Cliff Lee Roy Halladay showdown.
That would be pretty
Tim
nice.
Lincecum was pretty good, but yeah, that'd be pretty solid.
All right, now let's discuss the Rangers and the
Matchups?
Yankees series. Yep, matchups. Go ahead, Mitch.
Rangers Yankees. Well, the Yankees have one benefit here. Cliff Lee doesn't pitch till Game 3, but if they don't win one of these first two games at Rangers, they could be in trouble because you do know after if they don't win one of those games, you got Cliff Lee looming over their heads for another 2 games, and like I said, he's one of the best playoff pitchers of all time. I think they got a favorable matchup in CC versus CJ. CJ looked really good against Tampa Bay. You know, I'm going to say the Rangers maybe pull out that game. Next game, that's a problem. That was it Phil Hughes versus Kobe Lewis, or is it Andy Pettitte?
Andy Pettitte.
Andy
I
Pettitte?
believe it's Andy Pettitte.
I think the Yankees can pull out the game too, but if they got to pull out one of those games, or else they could be really in trouble. You got Cliff Lee the next 2.
I'm going to say the key to this game is if the Yankees can win in 6. If they win it, which I think they can win 4 out of the first 6 games. Because Game 7, they have to face Cliff Lee. And if they have to face Cliff Lee...
Lee against Phil Hughes.
I mean, I don't think anyone's going to pick the Yankees in 7.
If I'm them, I'd actually pitch Andy Pettitte Game 3. Have Andy Pettitte, like you said, 2 of the best playoff pitchers of all time. That could be one shot.
That would be really nice, but I still think Cliff Lee would win.
But Rangers Game 7, that's huge.
I think the Rangers would probably pull it off in Game 7.
They both have excellent lineups. They're both pretty close teams. You know, Neftali Feliz, Mario Rivera on the back end. It's going to be a really good game. I say Rangers win 4-1 in the series.
Wow, I'm taking the Yankees in 6.
All right, now let's discuss Phillies Giants. Take it away, Brian.
I picked the Phillies to win the whole World Series, but the more I've thought about it, I'm actually going the Giants in the series. I never thought they'd be facing the Giants, and the Giants team going against the Phillies' top 3 pitchers in Roy Halladay, Oswalt, and Hamels, they're 5-1 this year.
I'll try to keep this brief. The Phillies are going to destroy the Giants. Roy Halladay, like you said, is a terrific pitcher. I think that they're going to win the first game 2-1 against Tim Lincecum. Huge battle. I think the Phillies had too much bats. You've seen they took down the Reds really easily. The best lineup the best technical lineup in the NL. I think the Phillies have one of the best lineups in the playoffs. I think they're going to take them down in a sweep.
I think the Giants lineup is just a little underrated. I mean, they aren't
That's
that
true.
great.
They got a tough house to play in.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm not saying that I think the Giants are going to run away with it. I think they could win it in 7, but somehow I just feel the Phillies are going to win. But I'm hoping for the Giants.
What do you call the series?
It's really tough. In my heart, I feel like the Phillies are going to win it in 6, but maybe even 5. But at the same time, I can see the Giants bringing it to Game 7 and winning.
4-0 Phillies.
All right, well, there's much more on the way, but for now, we're going to take a little break.